is going to be a fun one. We're going to give a chance for everybody to get on because this is going to be a very interactive panel here on May the 4th. We're going to want your questions. This one is going to be mind-meltingly awesome, like Sarlacc pit
awesome.
acid awesome. That's how good it's going to be, right, Dan?
Sauron pit, huh? Yeah. That's interesting. Why was you mention the Sauron pit?
It's just one of my favorite Star Wars moments, I guess. Since it's on May the 4th. Does everybody know who we have? We're about ready to announce this and get
Is it the Sauron or the Sarlacc pit? It's the Sarlacc pit, right?
Oh, there's a hint. There's a hint. I saw.
You got to be quick. You got to be
quick. There's another hint. There's another hint, guys. That's the wrong helmet. There we go.
Wow.
We're getting closer. There we go, everybody. We want to welcome Daniel Logan. You know him. He played Boba Fett. There we go.
What's up?
Oh, man. How y'all doing?
You have to correct this. Chris mentioned Sauron pits, the Sarlacc pit, right?
Sarlacc pit.
Yes,
but you know what? To tell you the
Lord
truth,
of the Rings.
with the type of writing that George Lucas has done, he named a character like Darth Maul. He's named him Savage, but because it's named Savage in my eyes, in my mind, throughout all my life, I'm going to end up calling him Savage, although they gave him this special twist. So if he wants to call it the Sarlacc,
whatever.
It's the pit.
Yeah.
We're so thrilled that you join us here on May the 4th. This is like one of our biggest, geekiest holidays, and we love it. And you are a FanX alumni. We love having you come to our show. We're so glad that you could join us today.
Yay! No, I'm very grateful. You know, I love you guys. I miss going to cons. I miss your guys' show the most. I mean, just the fan experience and everybody else that comes out. I used to live there for almost 3 years.
Not long enough.
Not
long enough.
Yeah, not long enough.
Yes, Dan and I, we cried the day I said I had to leave. We sat together crying, but it was one of those moments. But yeah, I love you. I love Salt Lake. I love you guys' show. I love the fans and everybody who's on this page and everybody that supports us. They are some of the nicest and kindest and genuine fans there are. And that's why one reason I love interacting with the FanX page. So I want to thank you guys. May the 4th be with everyone, by the way. We haven't yet said that, have we?
We wanted you to say that. You're the one that has to say that. Oh, there we go. This is Daniel Logan.
There he is. Look at that.
There we go.
My wife
again, to recap as people are jumping in, this is Daniel Logan. You guys know he played Boba Fett, and this is your chance. You can actually ask any questions. Go ahead and type a question, and we'll relay those questions to Daniel. Daniel, so how are you doing? How are things going? Tell us everything that's going on in your life.
I'm doing great. You know, it's weird times for everybody right now, and I got stuck with my my new boss. I didn't realize that I was married to for quite a long time. He has all these ideas, you know, and that's my wife. She's got all these ideas. She's like, well, one day we should clean the garage, you know, and the next day we should do this. And I like turn around and with all these wee ideas, I'm like, oh, great, expecting my working partner. And as I turn around, it's just me always working the whole time, cleaning the garage, the backyard, my office, you know.
It's the honeydew list, right? Honey do this, honey do that.
Well,
I just wanted to go back to work.
Yeah. Well, the thing that's funny about it is it always comes up as we. You know, we should clean the garage, or we need to do this, or whatever. But it really means you need to.
Yes, that's what I've learned over this last couple of months. I'm like,
yeah,
you need to take the we out of it and just put you.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. How about you guys? How's quarantine been for you guys?
Oh, quarantine's, it's like you said, it's exactly the same. I get a lot of other requests to do around the house that I didn't realize I had to do until we got quarantined. Now I'm doing lots of little chores in the house.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like makeup to do things now because there's so many things that I've already done on the to-do list, and then now there's the make-up to-do list. You know, it's like
right.
Never ends. It never ends. Hey, Chris, I want to go ahead and remind everybody that's watching this right now, if you have any questions, prepare those questions, flood those comments, let us know what you want to go ahead and ask. Mr. Daniel Logan right here. Hey, Daniel, where are you right now in your house? Where are you at?
I am in my office. My house has been torn upside down lately because during this quarantine time, my wife also figured it would be a very good time for me to thin out my collection of Star Wars toys. And I didn't realize over the many years of being in this franchise that I've collected probably close to 50,000 or more toys.
Wow.
Wow.
Figures, yeah, box sets. So she says, well, I think we should thin it out a little. So I'm like, oh, cool. I have a couple of doubles of things and, you know, maybe triples of others. And that's where I was thinking we were going. So I call up my friends at the Star Wars store and I ask them if they can come down and help me to basically catalog it and make it into like kind of a Rancho Logie one, kind of like Steve Sansweet's museum he has.
Yeah.
And the next day we're selling, you know, and it just hasn't stopped pretty much since. So my collection's gone from about 50,000 to about 48,000.
Whoa.
Wow, what a hit.
Yeah, what a I feel like I'm a hoarder. I seriously feel like a hoarder. You know, when you see him going through the trash bags once it's already been put into the trash in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
I literally am like, oh no, I don't know about that. And then it would already be sold. I'm like, we sold this? But yeah, so I got some really fun stuff. I'll show you guys a little bit of like some of my cherished stuff. So right here is a side gunner, but this is you know, boxes isn't in the best condition. It'd probably grade out at something around a 70 if you're gonna do AFA, but it's still sealed from the original seal.
Oh, no
now
way.
imagine.
No
Yeah.
way.
Wow.
Oh, my
So
God.
yeah, so it's like just an average toy, but to me it hasn't been opened since 1980s or something like that. You know, what's this? The droid. So yeah, so that would have come out after the first release. So it would have come out in the early 80s. You know, and it still
Time
has
capsule.
its original stickers. I mean tape over it.
So,
I got a couple like that.
Daniel,
let me
I got a question for you, actually.
Yeah,
Well, actually, one's a comment. Oh, what is that?
this is what they call a tri-logo. It's three different
Tri-logo?
languages. That tri-logo, yeah. This is three different languages that they put onto one box. English, the power of the force. I think
Oh,
it's
wow.
French and then German.
What?
But this is another one that I love. It hasn't been opened yet. Still has its factory seal. So I hope my son doesn't get to climb anytime soon and opens those up because I've been keeping them for a long time for him. So I'm praying. Doesn't open those. I'm sorry, Chris. What was your?
That's
sorry,
okay.
what was
Well,
Chris-
so we're live and we got people. They're asking questions for you. And the
Oh, yeah,
first
yeah,
one we had, well, this isn't a question. Somebody just wanted to say, his name is Dean, and he said that you are the nicest person in his fan interaction with you. When you met him, he met you and you autographed a poster he did, and he just wanted to say thank you for being so nice to your fans. So I thought you should hear that because you are a delight to be around. But
Tell
there is-
Dean, don't believe everything he reads. Tell him, don't believe everything you read, Dean. No.
So
No,
this
tell him
one,
thank
now this
you,
one,
thank you, Dean.
this is going to be the hard one. I'm nervous to ask you. This is from Lewis. Lewis
Yes.
is like, he said, Daniel, can you say what your favorite Star Wars film is?
Well, it's just us. Nobody's watching. It's just us.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing people don't understand with me is that I grew up on this little island that when I got into the franchise of Star Wars, I had no clue what Star Wars was. Although my aunties, my mother, they had all grown up with the Star Wars franchise until I was able to have the blessed opportunity of standing on set and then learning about this franchise or world we call Star Wars. There was, you know, I had no idea. But now being a huge fan, as you guys can see, I do love the originals. I mean, when The Empire Strikes Back and Boba Fett comes to be, you know, not being biased, but this character Boba Fett has become such a huge part of my life. He created such a, you know, a wide opportunity. So when he first came to be in The Empire Strikes Back, I was able to watch him on set when I was 13 in Sydney. George asked me to watch all the original movies. And I have to say, that was probably my favorite film. I mean, I do love, you know, A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. I think they were fantastic films for the time and the era. But also, you know, not to give any hate, but the prequels also. I mean, I think George Lucas might have been given a little too much freedom on some of the character choices, but I think they still played their role in their part. And for me, I have to say I love the originals, but there's something that I find very passionate about the prequels.
Yeah.
Which is that George Lucas had so many characters, but he chose to change character costumes or costume designs from one set to another scene to another set to another scene. You get what I'm saying? Like if they got a Hoth, she was in a Hoth outfit. So then as a toy collector, I could buy a Hoth layer, you know, which takes me back to the originals. Or in the prequels, you have Amidala, who she has all multiple different outfits and clothings, which I don't know how George Lucas never got given any awards for costume designs and stuff like that, because, you know, just seeing the stuff on set, it was flawless.
It is. It's absolutely amazing. And you're living everybody's dream, because you grew up on a Star Wars set, which is what everybody in the world wants. I mean, you had that experience to be there and be a part of such an iconic culture movement that it's just almost, you can't almost even grasp how amazing that is. We're just all sitting around, like, we're all freaking out here that we're talking to us right now in a Zoom meeting. We're trying to play it cool, but we're freaking out inside because we're like, oh my gosh, it's Boba Fett. It's amazing. It's awesome. But we have one other question. So Sarah, one of our fans, she's like, hey Daniel, how's it going? She goes like, if you could go back and do another character in the Star Wars universe, if you could choose any character and play that, which one would you choose other than Boba Fett?
Oh, definitely Darth Maul. I mean, you know, for sure. I mean, he's everybody's pretty much favorite Sith villain, you know, and as an advertising point, I mean, he was pretty much on every single billboard, all the toys of Episode 1. He's the most badass character, pretty much in the Phantom Menace. Mm-hmm. And that fight between Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, you know, that was something we never experienced in Star Wars before then. You know what I mean? And he really brought a new dynamic to what we call a lightsaber. Yeah. And unfortunately, I love Dave Prowse and I love all the originals, but I mean, boom, 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 compared to boom, 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 boom. You know, you're like, what just happened? You know,
the remix. Oh yeah.
I actually heard, I don't know if this is true, but I heard in an interview they're saying that they actually had to slow that lightsaber scene down a little bit because it was going so fast that people thought it would be unbelievable. They're like, it couldn't be accurate. So they slowed it down a little bit. And it is out of control. Ray Park, who played Darth Maul, was so amazing. I think he was 19 at the time, but he was he was amazing. Great choice.
Do you guys know that Daniel's good buddies with Ray and they work out all the time?
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Well, he uses me more of like a punching bag, you know. I don't know if you guys have seen his gym, you know, he's got all these different dummies and boxing bags. And yeah, he's a beast.
Punching a kick, right?
Yeah, you gotta watch that kick.
Yeah.
That spinning back kick, he's amazing.
Speaking of Ray, I was gonna say he's also into the RC cars. Remember that?
Yes.
And
yes. Oh,
speaking
of that, I got my package.
All right. Well, good.
Thank you. I forgot to tell you, I've been so busy. I got it like yesterday or the day before, but thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
So Dan sent me my RC parts that was sitting in his garage, taking up space. He didn't charge me rent.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. So I don't know if this is something. We have a fan here named Jake. He says that you used to play rugby, and he wants to know if you still play rugby periodically.
So Jake, rugby was my my very first passion in life. I woke up every day, dreamed to become an All Black, and pretty much ran to school every day. And my coach was allowed to put down 2 names out of his team for this audition for a milk commercial, and he put down me and his son's name. So I went along for the commercial, and they thought I was too white to play the character that I was meant to be playing, but they really liked my energy, so they offered me another role. So I took the role, and from there, a lady just fell in love with me. And as a little kid, I thought I could balance both the world of acting and rugby, not realizing that it's kind of like baseball and a glass window. They don't really go well together. You know what I mean? So I tried, and I actually haven't told this story very much because it's just, actually, I told her when I first started doing my conventions, I actually forgot about it. So they let me go after on Star Wars once I was finished filming. And I went back to school when I went back to being a regular kid. And at this point in time, I thought, cool, I can go back to playing rugby, which I was very passionate about. I loved, and I was very, very good at. Matter of fact, the scouts had come to my club, and they would come and watch me play. They even gave me like the all black boots, socks, and shorts as if I was a little junior, because I wasn't old enough to play for them yet. So I went back to school and tried to play rugby, and I was a freshman, and I would play against softball, I mean the sophomores or the
seniors and stuff?
Seniors. Yes, the seniors. Yeah. Well, I tackled this one senior in front of all my cousins and stuff, and I put him down pretty bad. So he got embarrassed. So then in the game of rugby, if you don't have the ball, you're not allowed to be touched. So I got the ball, and I was running, and I could see him coming for me. So I offloaded the ball inside, and I gave it to the guy next to me, but he was still running for me. So as I didn't know what to do, so I just jumped, because I thought what we do in New Zealand is called a grass cut. And it's when someone tackles you between your knee and your ankle. And if it gets you in the right spot, he can pretty much break your leg.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or both your legs. So I jump, and as I jump, he catches his momentum, and he lifts me by my legs and just drives me up into the air, like when they're doing the throwing. And he turns me upside down and just drives me into the ground. And my arm is the first thing to take the impact. And he snaps both bones in my arm. So, I get up. I'm angry. He tackled me like that. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get you back now. And my best friend's on the side watching. We've grown up since we were like 7 years old. And he goes, Daniel, look at your arm. And as soon as I look over at my arm, the pain just hits my entire body. And I just drop to the ground, and my arm looks like a banana. So, yeah. So we're in New Zealand, and they're savage, right? Not savage. They're savage.
Is it Savage? Yeah.
They walk me to the nurse's office. So the nurse is like, well, there's nothing I could do. I got to take you to the hospital. So I'm like, oh, okay, thinking they're going to call the ambulance. She walks me outside the office and puts me into her car. So, like, I got this banana arm. She's driving this stick car. I will never forget this. My arm's like, She realizes I'm not wearing a seatbelt. So she pulls over and she's like, you got to put your seatbelt on. And I'm like, thinking in my mind, my seatbelt? So she puts the seatbelt over this broken, banana arm, and gets me to the A&E. And then they're like, why did you ever move him off the field? You should have called us. So they put this rod in my arm, and they put this cast on my arm. And I thought that I was done with Star Wars, but I didn't realize that they had a hold period on me, that I wasn't allowed to get injured or whatnot after that, because if they had any retakes or recalls, things to do, I had to be ready to go back. Well, they had forgotten to do the whole entire clone scene. You know, when you see the clones and they're all sitting there and they're talking to each other, doing the studying through the computer? Well, about 6 months later, they called, wanted me back. And it was literally like a week before, or a week as I got my cast off. But as I get my cast off, I don't know if any of you have ever had a broken arm, but my arm comes out like the knitting needle that I would scratch my arm with every day just to feel pleasure, to get the itch away. Yeah. My arm was so thin that one arm was built up and the other arm was just like a stick arm all the way up, because it killed the muscle. So my agent was upset because she said that I wasn't allowed to play both. She was like, Daniel, once I got Star Wars, she sat me down and she says, it's time to pick one or the other. You can't do both. And I figured, if I can't play at the club, I'm going to play at the school, So I got caught playing at the school because I broke my arm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Doesn't Daniel tell the best stories? I mean,
I love it.
Remembers all that detail and everything.
Get this. So my other best friend comes over from New Zealand. He's on like a year, he got this visa for a year of whatnot. And he starts playing rugby. So I'm like, I'll go and watch him. They were down in person one day, and they were begging me, Daniel, come play. Daniel, come play. So I'm like, sure, I'll go play. I go and I tackle like I do, and I tackle hard. And I get this one guy, he gets taken off. So the replacement that they put him in with, I'm running with the ball, and he goes to tackle me. But as I go down, he comes up with his head, and he just smashes me right in my nose and breaks my nose. So it's like the first day I come back after years and years and years of playing the sport. and this guy headbutts me so hard it breaks my nose in 2 places. So I have what these ladies use on their special weeks. They had a mom there who had these huge ones. So I shoved them up each one of my nose to stop the bleeding. And then I'm back at the hospital. So
Didn't Amanda Bynes do that in a movie? I swear I've seen
I don't know, but it
Yeah.
worked. It kept my nose. I mean, it's a fat nose, but it kept it pretty straight. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing. That's awesome. I love those stories. You do tell the best stories. You tell the best stories. We have Ethan who's asking, because you were talking about your Star Wars collection. You said you had about 50,000 pieces. Now it's down to about 48,000 pieces. Ethan wanted to know, do you have like a favorite piece or one that's your more, like something vintage that you absolutely love? Do you have a particular favorite piece that you could talk about?
I mean, Daniel, if we need to get those wheels turning, do we need a tour of your place? Like, should people see the collection you're dealing with right now?
Well, it's a little overwhelming because this is just not even a percentage. But let me show you guys how do I turn this around.
This is it, guys. We're going on a tour in the house.
Right here, right? These are some loose figures from original vintage.
Oh, wow.
You know, like everything I love. It's like a thrift shop around here, but nothing used to be for sale. So this is one of my favorites. This is The Empire Strikes Back, the 30th year anniversary that they did at the celebration. But I had Jeremy Bullock, Dickie Bear, and John Morton sign that. So like for my kid, that's going to be something that's going to be awesome to be able to hand down. This right here, you guys can't see it, but Disney Indonesian artist painted this for me. Oh, wow. And this is actually one of one, but if you put 3D glasses on, the Fett helmet pulls out, and then there's a you can see kind of here. There's a inscription. You can run, but you'll only die tired. Written in it, and then a lot of it sticks out as a 3D. It's pretty awesome. Actually, I might be able to do it with. See, here's my closet. So I got tons. I mean, here's my closet full of stuff. I'm gonna grab my 3D glasses. My wife moves everything around, so I can never find anything. But here, let me just show you guys my dirty house. It's only dirty because I am packing and like I said, I'm selling some of my collection off. These are for my bounty boxes. So I had a lot of cool things like t-shirts and just swag items. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to chuck them in and do bounty boxes. But this is what I've been dealing with for the last couple of weeks. This isn't even a fraction of my collection of what I have.
Wow.
I have vintage, I have Clone Wars, I've got Black Series, I've got, everything. There's more loose vintage, but this is just at my house what I brought over from my office and from my haven't even gotten to my storage unit yet.
Oh.
But
you get lost in there.
I have been, and for me, Dan can vouch. I'm a very clean person, so I like my house tidy. And
how's the bathroom floor? Did that work out well?
Oh, you want to see my new bathroom, Dan?
Yeah. All
right. So this took about 2 years because I'm like the nicest guy, as you guys all know. Somehow, my construction guy had somehow managed to have taken a year to complete this, but I'm so thankful for it.
Wow.
Because I spent so many days in hotels. I wanted something like a walk-in straight-in shower.
That shower looks great. Because it was all torn up. They were just doing the tile.
Yes, when you came last time. So
yeah.
This is a little bit. Not yet.
Are you on live right now?
We are on live.
Say hi to John.
Hey, John. Who am I saying hi to?
Pops.
To everybody at Soul Lake. So if you guys don't know, this is the man behind Tom Fountain, Christopher Lloyd. He'll be the guy with that. Farr. No, he's out badly. But yes, he's the guy who will sit and collect all your.
We have show them some of my autographs so they go up on your page.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, grab some of the big carries. I have some other carries.
So I was talking to Dan about that, seeing if he has autographs. I got some here, actually. So my pops brought these over. Do you want to explain them, Pops?
Yeah, I've had some autographs for years that I've just collected over the years from all my stuff. I'm doing this 30 years, and so I've been putting some stuff up for sale, and they've been going well. So these are ends. There's carries.
Oh,
Wow.
Different carries. I've got these are all official picks. These are lithos.
Let me move my helmets.
Yeah. And
There
then,
comes my terror. Hooray!
Then I have some big ones as well. These are
Hey,
11
come and
by,
get your granddad.
these are 11 by 14s.
Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah. Tell him, let's go.
And yeah, Carrie was at Salt Lake City. I brought her out there years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan really had a good time with her, and we had fun in the green room and out with the fans. She really liked having dealing with the fans. You know.
She was great. The thing, John has really been helpful in bringing a lot of great guests to our show over the years. Some of the favorite guests that we've had.
Yeah, so
No,
it-
you
and-
Nikki,
and
get out of here.
It's been
Come
one
on,
of the-
get out of here.
it's a great show.
Yes, Daddy's gonna finish this call.
Well, I remember
Go with your granddad.
But
you
yeah,
brought
so it's-
you brought Carrie to FanX, and when she was on the stage, I was
Yes.
behind stage. I'm the MC, and she called for her dog to come up on stage.
That's Gary the dog.
Yeah. And I didn't know that, so I saw the dog running up. So I went to get the dog, and it was like, no, let the dog go up, and the dog came up on stage.
Chris, did you think it was
Yeah.
just a stray
Don't
that
get
was
in
just
this
like kind of
place.
roaming around?
Well, a quick story about that. Why don't we? Is that I was going to. We didn't have a panel scheduled for Gary because Carrie, if she goes away from her table, she doesn't just go away for that time. She will stop and want to look at booths. She loves shopping. I mean, so I told Dan, I said, if we take her away from the floor, it's not just going to be the 45 minutes or an hour. It's going to be at least twice that because she's going to stop. And when Carrie stops, there's nobody that can get her to move. So she did, and at least Dan was forewarned about it. And I said, you're going to lose some time on the floor, but he really wanted to, give the fans that couldn't go and see her at the table a chance to see her. So we agreed, and she did it. And and if you remember, Dan, she did take a little longer because she stopped at booths. But she did help support the local booths too. She would spend tons of money, and she would never negotiate. She always said that. She said, nope, I don't want to, because I said, they're willing to give this to you for free because we are. No, I want to support the economy of these shows. So she would always spend the price that it was, and she would never try to negotiate, and it was good. So I really enjoyed.
You're making me feel bad now because I always negotiate. Like at the end of the convention, I'm like, so do you want to take this all home? Or would you like to get ripped off by Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Anyways, Dan, I'm going to put these up on Daniel's thing. It's called Bounty Boxes, which you have to look.
Yes, on Facebook.
It was a little bit of an unfortunate name on Facebook because there's a bunch of bounty boxes. So look for the Daniel Logan one that has.
Okay.
I put up a new icon, Daniel, just so you know.
All right, perfect.
So
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just.
So look up bounty boxes on Facebook, and it's a private group you have to join.
I'm like that. I'm just a pretty face.
So I'll let you get back to Daniel now, so you can finish.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
Hey, no
John.
problem. I came over to watch the baby while he was doing this for you guys, and I got
That's awesome.
roped into it. But
I think you want to have him on next. He has all the stories. He's got all the celebrities. He'd be the real fun dude.
Love
You
it.
know?
We need to do that, John. Seriously, we'll have you on sometime. That'd be fun.
all right.
Love it. Yeah.
Maybe, but I'm going to get a better background than what you have. The other guys have a good background. It looks like you're up in your loft. Actually, I like your loft up there.
Actually, he's going to show everybody his little secret compartments up there.
Yeah.
No, don't ever give away your secret compartments.
Oh, I thought that's where it keeps. That's where it keeps me when I'm being bad.
That's what you said. Yeah.
Yeah. I've actually got Daniel's twin up there, and Dan's keeping him, safe and sound.
Dan is my twin.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go back to watching the baby, but yeah. So show me your helmet too, Daniel, when you get that.
Oh yeah, I'll show him in a little bit. Ugh.
Hey, so Daniel, I have to say there was another comment.
It's a family event. Sorry about that. My
No,
son
that was
came in,
fun. That was so fun.
little half naked.
Yeah. Hey, there's another comment that came up earlier from Jacob Farr, was asking when he could go camping with you.
Oh, as soon as he gets back from doing his righteous duties, I'll be ready for him. Tell him,
All right.
get out here, or I'll come on out. My boy's almost at the age right now where he's able to go camping.
How
Yeah,
fun.
he's out there now playing his little paddle pool. So, I mean, if he gets stuck in the stream, it pulls him down. He's either swim or fly. What is it? Flight or whatever. He'll learn.
Sink or swim?
Yeah. I've already told him hot. You know what I mean? So he knows.
Yeah.
But yes, tell Jake I miss him. I love him. Hopefully he's doing well. Yeah, it must be, you know, these are strange times for everyone right now. You know, we're all just kind of on hold, you know, and
Yeah.
It's
Well, I think-
things like this. What's that?
Well, yeah, it is those strange times. I think we have time for one more question, but somebody
Okay.
asked here, Christina, she's like, hey, because you mentioned your mask, and she wanted to know, she's like, hey, Daniel, she's like, when with acting, you think it's more challenging for actors to act with somebody who's wearing a mask because they can't see facial recognition, or do you think that it's just fine for them? And she thought that you'd be the perfect person to answer that question. Thank you, Christina. Great question.
As an actor, of course, it's going to be a lot more difficult. I think it's kind of like a phone call. You know, now we've got these FaceTimes. We can literally see people's expressions, so you know how to respond back to that facial expression alone. I mean, when someone has a helmet on, you lose that sense of connection through the eye contact. Some people at some points, you know, if you're being directed, you know, you know, they look away for that second, and then you can kind of respond off of that. Yeah. Hello, Miss Farr. You have the perfect T-shirt.
I know. Sorry. Darren wants me to come up and say hi.
I'm the only one who's not wearing Star Wars today. Oh, I was going
Hi,
to.
Stephanie.
Gosh, Daniel.
I guess I am Star Wars, right? This face.
You are.
Exactly.
This face alone is franchised.
I guess you're always wearing it, right? Yeah.
But so with Star Wars, that's one of the things that most people don't realize is that there's so little that you have to go by. Like, you know, when you're doing Lord of the Rings, you are out in these wilderness forests that you can see the trees that they're talking about. Well, when, you know, George Lucas is telling me, well, you're going to be on the back of a space deck, and Slave One is going to be right here, and the ramp, and your father and another man are going to be fighting and shooting at each other and having this combat fights. And how can you even think of that? And then there's nothing around you to even, besides a green screen, to go by, right? And then next minute, like, okay, and action. And then the sprinklers start coming on, the rain starts coming, you know, and you're meant to pretend, now I'm on this Camino space landing, you know, pad, and my father, Django's all suited up and you know, fighting, but you can't imagine what's going on over there. What gets put out on the actual camera or on the finished product. You know what I mean? My fight scene was a couple guys going, not, you know, fly up in the air, shoot down, lightsaber, fall down a deck, you know. When I was in the cockpit of the Slave One, I didn't realize when I jumped up, I was looking down at the floor. But when George Lucas did the camera angling of it, it looks like I climb up and I'm looking over like this at you guys. Do you know what I mean? And then when I shoot off at the cannons, it's just amazing. But going back to the question, it is always easier when you have someone as an eye line. And that's where I was going to with this. So when I was doing Star Wars, they would have a stand-in for everyone else besides me. So I played every single part. If someone was doing the reversal, so if Django and Obi-Wan had their eye line and they needed someone to stare at, I stood in there. And then I would, you know, act off in response. So then they had that person where when you were finished, he had a guy that would stand in for him. And then I would be able to act off of him if need be, you know, with the Camino, like when Ton Wee was there. Ton Wee wasn't there at all. Never was there anybody that stood there that they marked a piece of tape. No, nothing. That was all pure imagination. But because of creativity and the power of, I guess, sci-fi, if I was to look just a little lower, it would weaken the character of who Ton Wee was, because who am I looking at? Am I looking at her neck? Am I looking at her face? So each time I had to hit the same eye line without no markings or no nothing. And that's a little harder too, but then again, that's when the fun of acting and creativity and imagination get to come in and come to play.
That's amazing.
But I'd rather no one there. I'd rather no one there than a masked person not giving me any emotion.
So what you mentioned, you guys were mentioning before, and we got people asking questions. Can you talk a little bit about what? Do you have like a website where they go look at those the Daniel Logan bounty boxes, or where can they go to find that about?
They're on. It's on Facebook. If you check out, I think it's you can check out on my page. I put a link on a couple posts. I've only just started doing them, so my bounty boxes, like I said earlier, it's just I have so much stuff that I figured other people could use, like T-shirts that I bought hundreds of, and I haven't worn for a single time, and I figured, what's the point of having these T-shirts that are beautiful, that are some of them will never get released ever again, and a lot of people would love to wear them, like I had like the Mark Echo lines and stuff like that. So I put together these boxes from all different assortments of my stuff, about 6 to 7, 8 pieces of different things, from T-shirts to toys, loose figures, coin boxes, things that you couldn't even imagine that I've collected over the years. Pretty cool stuff. So I named it the Bounty Boxes because I figured it would be kind of
That's
cool.
good.
Yeah, I love it. So to find them, they go to Facebook, they look up Daniel Logan, and then there's a link there for bounty boxes, and they can find him there.
On either one of my 2 pages. I've also got something I've been working on, guys, before we go. This is one of my projects. Oh, sorry, Phantom.
Do we have links on our this thread?
Oh,
yeah, we'll link that on our thread so people can see it. And I just want to say, the chance to have a shirt that you've worn is pretty freaking awesome.
I haven't worn these ones.
He hasn't worn them, but he's held them.
I mean, that's awesome.
Them, but I haven't put them on. They still got the tags and everything. But I got this is actually one of my things that I'm very passionate about. That I'm excited to tell you guys about. I'm also excited about the bounty boxes, but I last year came up with the idea with Jeremy Bullock when I saw that he wasn't going to be able to continue no more in the convention circuit, and I said to him, we should really get all 6 fits autographs together on some kind of on something licensed, so that we can collect a part of history for the fans that they might not ever be able to ever have now, because unfortunately you're retiring. And he thought it was a great idea, and I sent him these plaques. So I got together with EFX. So EFX makes some very, very, very beautiful stuff. They've just come out with the Boba Fett helmet. Mm-hmm. So me and EFX and Lucasfilm, we all teamed up. I don't know, the glare on it is terrible.
Yeah.
But you can see that they're all handwritten. So you have Jeremy Bullock, Daniel Logan, Don Bees, Mark Austin, John Morton, sorry, and John Morton. Shush on set, quiet on set, rolling. He'll get used to it. But yeah, so there are EFX. These are limited edition, only of 50 of the greens. So I managed to get 150. To be honest, Jeremy started doing the 50 in green, and then he said he didn't want to do it in green anymore, and he switched to black. So that's how I got the limited edition of 50 black green, and I had to do all the rest of them black. So I had no choice to split the collection from a 150 to a 1 of 100 and a 1 of 50. But this is the helmet, guys. It's a very, 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 I guess I should pull it out of the other box. So they come in the brown box. Getting a little carried away. This is the Boba Fett. I started opening it up before.
Just so you know, Daniel, people are freaking out online. They're like, "Oh my gosh, it's like Christmas. Watching you open this stuff is amazing."
Yeah. You can start a channel opening boxes, right? Like yeah.
Oh, I got so many boxes though.
It's like this is the perfect May the 4th way to celebrate.
Yes.
So this is the EFX. The Empire Strikes Back. I open it with my feet on either side of the box. It just makes it come out easier.
Technique. Proper technique.
Yeah, you know. The island technique. It's like cracking a coconut.
I even think through the palm tree or the coconut tree.
So I wrote a little letter just because I like to, tell people about my life and stuff. Tells you how many kids my mom had on what date, and no, just tells a little bit of the project on, it's taken about, over a year now for this to all to come together for me, because I had to literally track down each and every Fett over each and every part of the world that they're at and get them to hand sign all the autographs. So I finally got him. Then with this whole pandemic, everything just slowed down. So this is the EFX
Wow.
Boba Fett helmet, and my one is it comes with a plaque. So as you can see, you get all 6 hand autographed Boba Fett, boom, boom. So this is my project I've been working on for like a year. Now I don't want to sell any of them, but again, you know.
That's amazing. Wow.
But yeah, so this is the thing that I've been very passionate about, because for me, it's being able to preserve the history, and not everyone's going to be able to get Jeremy Bullock's autograph, especially now, you know. So I'm just sad that I can only get 150, but there's only 50 of the green available, and there's only, I think, 35 left. And I meant to be posting them publicly right now, but I got too excited and I jumped on your guys' Zoom instead of posting that I have these now up. So the public still don't know.
Post it first.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, ADHD, man. Can't focus. But these are meant to be going up today for public purchase. But without even going up, just privately, I've already sold like 15.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I told the people, I said, hey, I gotta stop selling them because the public aren't even gonna have a chance to be able to get one, you know?
Well, Daniel, thank you so much. That's amazing. We love that. Thank you so much for joining us here on May the 4th. It's just an honor. It's so much fun to have you, and you are always welcome at FanX. I mean, we all like you.
I love
Dan, you guys. We can't vouch for that.
Yeah.
No, I really,
Family,
really
Daniel's
appreciate
family.
you guys. It's awesome being able to still be out and enjoy May the 4th with you guys, even through this service. So thanks, guys, for providing it. Ro, I really appreciate the email and the constant reminders. You're the best.
Thank you, brother.
And yeah, thanks, guys, for inviting me. It was an amazing opportunity, and I love you all.
We're gonna put a link of that down in this description so people can see that. Everybody's just waving and giving hearts and saying thank you. You're just a treasure. Thank you so much for joining us. We love it.
Well,
thank you, brother.
Please, everybody, take care and remind yourselves this is the best time to spend with family.
It
So
is.
although it's difficult times, we are forced to spend the time and enjoy our loved ones. So enjoy the time while we have it, because it's not going to last forever. And again, May the 4th be with you all, always.
Yeah.
Thank
There
you.
we go.
Love you guys.
FanX fam.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much. That was amazing. I can't believe it. Daniel's awesome. You guys, everybody have a happy and safe May the 4th.